Morning, folks. Hope everybody's doing well. It's a Friday morning. Soap today is brought to us from Heritage Hill. The name of this one here is Patriot. It's got the scent profile down here at the bottom. It's lime, bergamot, and patchouli. This is a 3-ounce container here. And not an exact match, but I thought it might play well, at least with my nose. Probably not with yours. Going with Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. This is lime, ice, and sage. And don't think this one's available anymore, so buy, sell, trade if you're interested in that particular scent. In other words, the ice part means it's got menthol in it. It works well for my nose. Got it whipped up here, and what's referred to as I think it's called a Sarabachi bowl. Anyhow, it's got grooves down in the bottom of the bowl and along the sides also. So it has what you can like use to crush up nuts or something of the sort like that. And this was thrift store find, in other words, $1. I think you can find them online. Last time I looked at them for about $10 if you're interested. But for me, I got lucky and found it for $1 at the thrift store. Got it whipped up here. This is the butterscotch handled 22mm Yaqi brush that I mentioned in the last video. It's got a cashmere knot. It's not a, like I say, 22mm. It works well for me with no more than what I'm working with here. This size knot, man, that smells good too. It works well. I know for a lot of folks 22 is too small, but for me it's right on the money. 22, 24, those knots work well. Blade of choice today. This is Treet Falcon. It's been a while since I've had one of these on video. It comes in a 10-pack, and these are referred to as carbon steel. And this is what the wrapper looks like. It comes double wrapped also, just to let you know. These blades are one of the few that are labeled as carbon that seem to work well for me. Quite surprised the first time I tried them. For me, they're pretty sharp. And this particular razor, there it is. You can see that West Coast shaving right there in the bottom of the handle. This particular handle is about 3 inches in length and weighs about 3.88 ounces. In other words, almost 4 ounces. It's not real long, 3 inches, but it does pack quite a bit of weight. So you wouldn't want to drop this on your ceramic tile floor in the bathroom, much less on your foot. It's gonna hurt. And this setup here, this is Toothsome. This particular head and cap was made by the way of charcoal goods for West Coast shaving. You can get the what I call a 3-pack. In other words, you get the cap and the 3 different plates. I think it's called Lithe, L-I-T-H-E, however you want to pronounce that. That one there, I guess you might say, is the standard mild version. It's got a straight safety bar on it. Then the next one up would be the Toothsome, and it looks like this. It's kind of an open comb type model. And there's another one that's called Brawny. Brawny looks just like the Lithe. In other words, it's got a straight safety bar on it. It looks just like it until you flip the flip the base plate over, and on the bottom of the base plate, it'll have the letter A for aggressive, in other words. But you can get all 3 of those for, what was it, $21.58, and which is, you know, get basically 3 heads for that price. That's pretty darn good. And they look like this. Now you notice this cap is arched in the middle, and that's to help somebody maintain the angle while they're shaving. And this particular handle here, I think was right around the $20 mark. Now this is not if you're looking for a longer handle that's brass, there's one that's near 4 inches and weighs just over 6 ounces. So yeah, stuff to look for, right? Yeah, that's 6 ounces. Yeah, the thing is 6.2, 6.1 ounces, something like that. It's the 175, so it's 175 grams. This one here is 110 grams. But in other words, you can look it up and do the conversion if you want to. But boy, howdy. This one here, you know, almost 4 ounces. That's quite a bit of weight in the hand. You definitely know you got something there. Already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and I'm going ahead and use the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Preshave soap. This one was a cube. It's getting somewhat smaller. This is the Holliday version. I have not. I have used the brawny before, but I have not used this handle. Of course, if you're looking like I am or thinking like I am, having those 3 base plates and then 1 cap, and you can pick out your favorite handle, throw it in your travel bag, and that way you kind of got it, all your bases covered right there. And with it being, in other words, under $22 for just that 3 piece, or yeah, more or less, this 4 pieces counting the cap, that setup, if something should happen to it, it's not going to break the bank. In other words, it's not your favorite Gillette Fat Boy or anything quite like that. And at least you'll have options to, you know, to choose from where you're traveling, or maybe that's just how you want your setup in your bathroom. Because it doesn't take up a whole lot of room when you got one handle, and you know, then you got 3 base plates and a cap. That's pretty minimal. And all 3 of them look, you know, that setup by Charcoal Goods looks pretty good. I got this whipped up a little on the west side, not quite drippy. But boy, this sure does smell good. Heritage Hill, there's a few labels that are very much similar to, I guess you might call it the patriotic series, if you will. The way I looked at it when I was looking at the website is, can't buy just one. How about 3? The labels are pretty cool. I like them. And I do like the idea of putting the scent profile on the label. If you're like me and you got several soaps, and sometimes when a soap is, oh, how can you say, let's just say it's no longer on the website. And with that happening, in other words, the scent profile, if it's not on the label, or if you don't have it written down somewhere, stored somewhere, whatever the case might be, you may not remember what the scent profile is. And it's no longer on the website, so there you are. So it's nice to have it on the label for future reference. There you go. I appreciate it. I mean, it may not be the whole entire scent profile, but enough there to give you some idea what the scent's going to smell like. Toothsome. It's I think this is the, I can't remember which one. In other words, of course, it's not the mildest one, but I don't know that it's the, I don't think this one here is the most aggressive. I could be wrong. I got links down below if you want to really look into it in their description. I think that's a pretty good setup, though. Being able to offer in case you might say, the whole set with 1 cap and 3 base plates. That's a pretty good idea. And it's inexpensive. In other words, it's not $100+ or anything quite like that. Spend roughly $20 on the handle, roughly $20 on 3 base plates and a cap. So that's looking at roughly $40, and you got more or less 3 razors. That's pretty hard to beat. Pretty good deal. I do like brass. This one here, I should mention, this is a, I guess you might say the color might be satin. It's not a polished version by any means. And it doesn't look to be raw. I do have some handles that are raw brass. I don't mind it. It's, when you go to, if you want to put a shine on it, you don't have to worry about any kind of coating that you're removing. If you just like the patina as it develops over time, it's not a big deal. I guess you might say it's a little bit easier to maintain over the life of the razor. Alright, across the grain. You can kind of see how Toothsome's working, how that lather just rolls right through there. The blade feel on this, it's definitely present, but I don't feel that it's overwhelming. Just enough to make sure that you know that it's there and pay attention to what you're doing. but not to the point where you feel like, oh no, I can't shave with this. Especially with this handle, letting the sharpness of the blade, the weight of the razor do the work. So in other words, gentle pressure. That would be a good idea to keep in mind when you're using this. Especially right through the Adam's apple, huh? The ones like this, handles like this that are that short, if you will, I do like those. They're easy for me to hang on to. I have 3 other handles that are not quite this big in diameter, but about that length, but they're considered, I guess you might say, short stubbies that I do have that I like using from time to time. I've got a lot of handles I like using. When it comes to brass, I've got one stored back over here behind me, you can't see it, that is polished. And I mean, it's got a beautiful shine to it. And that brass just looks gorgeous. You can kind of tell it's whipped up real nice. This leather it's excellent. The scent is still just really present throughout the whole shave so far. That's nice, especially for my nose. Being able to pick it up is saying something. My nose isn't always working. Like I said, the aftershave is not an exact match, but I think it will play well with the scents that's already in there. In other words, the lime and the aftershave, lime and the soap, and I think the sage it comes close, but not exactly what I'm picking up right now. I think it'll go well. Oh yeah, as it goes for weather. 2:30 this morning, yeah, storm rolls through. Wasn't bad or anything, just enough to thunder, rattle the windows, let you know it's rolling through, but that's about it. That's all I heard last night. It's already done and over with, and I think the day, the high is supposed to be 67. It's going to be a nice day. 67 degrees, nice and cool. Face feels very smooth, somewhat efficient. I've used these before. These heads, this kind of setup is pretty nice. For me, I can't complain about them. Can't find anything to complain about. Just a normal routine, in other words, just going right through all that. My face is pretty smooth. I got just a couple of spots right there. In other words, if I work at it real quick, it'd be BBS without a problem. In other words, not a whole lot of effort in the shave to get a smooth, comfortable shave. Do like that weight though. Almost 4 ounces. Makes it nice in the hand. Like I say, you just gentle pressure. A little bit of stinging right there, but that's about it. Of course, talking and shaving, yeah, you're probably going to be distracted just a bit. Get that pressure and angle off just a little, especially down there. It came close. That crease right through there is problematic if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Unscented witch hazel from Stirling, but it is mentholated. Feel that coolness working on the face. I like it year round. I know some people may not, but for me, it's definitely a year round thing. This I've had this one here for a moment, as you can tell by the shape of the container, because PAA they have changed the shape of their containers. But I got this one here a while back. Just thought that the lime and the sage, yeah, it's a unique scent. might consider it a manly scent. In other words, I don't think it would be for everyone. It's the kind of scent almost like, it's not quite as strong as Obsidian, but it does kind of fit in that category that you open the bathroom door and the scent's just going to roll out of the bathroom. That's where I would put this. It's that kind of scent. Man, it just smells so good. Great start for a Friday. Had a great shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.